Good morning. Welcome to another video on the channel. It's a bit of a windy one and a bit of a bright one. But today I am down at the River Blackwater in Camberley, near Camberley, I think it's classed as Camberley, at Shepherd's Meadow. Targeting this very small, kind of very shallow river at the moment for anything I can get really. Ideally some chub or roach, maybe some perch, but it's not very well maintained. I mean, if you look behind me here, that's the river. I can't get to any of this part at all. Now, I've fished here a couple of times before and it does get like this way in the summer. There's normally a couple, well maybe 3 or 4 swims on this whole section at Shepherd's Meadow, maybe a couple more that you can actually fish. Most of it is very much like I've just seen and like it is over here, where you just can't get close enough to the bank. But we'll have a little look along, see if we can find some spots to fish and hopefully catch something. Okay, I just found a nice little glide. It's a little bit covered, as in tree lines, but the actual water looks okay. It's right on the edge of a bend. I'll just switch this round. So it's quite covered in here, but there's a bit of a glide that goes down towards the corner. So I'm going to get the plummet out, see what kind of depth we're at, and then I'll start feeding it with some maggots for probably 5 minutes or so, and then cast in, see what happens. Really should have brought a shorter rod. Don't know why I went for a 11 foot when I've got an 8 foot float rod at home. It's going to be very tight. So it's not very deep, it's about 2.5 feet deep. So let's get a few maggots in. See if anyone's at home. First fish, beautiful little roach. Hopefully there's something a little bit bigger, but at least it's a fish. Look at that beautiful roach. Absolutely stunning fish. Hopefully there's a few more of these down there. Just literally putting a pinch of maggots out on every cast. We're just letting it trot down gently. It's actually a very slow corner here. takes a while to pick up any momentum. I think we'll do a couple more glides through. And then we'll continue down the river. I just thought I'd run you through the kit that I take with me on these kind of quick, small rivers. Now, I've made a bit of a fail. I've brought an 11-foot rod. Should have brought my 10-foot or 9-foot or even 8-foot. Little rods would have been a hell of a lot easier to poke in and out of these trees that are everywhere here. But, you know, live by your mistakes. So, it's like an 11-foot float rod, centre pin reel on this occasion. Then I use an inline stick float held on with rubbers. Bulk shot about a foot underneath, then a couple of shot about 3 inches from the hook. Let's stick it in the river, see if we can get any more fish. Going to wander off down a little bit further, see if we can find a nice little stretch that's not full of weed, trees and bushes, reeds. Would be nice. It's actually very shallow at the moment as well, with the Polaroids on. I can see the bottom at most places, which is quite good, because then hopefully I can see where the deep holes are. Which is one right here, in fact. And there's quite a lot of weed in there, but if I can trot this through here. It's a bit dark under here. A very snaggy bush as well in front of me. Yeah, maybe I'll sit on the mat here, give it a few run-throughs. Never know. It's not the comfiest place to sit on my little unhooking mat. Here we go. Look at that beautiful little perch. Ooh. Very angry fish. There we go, look at that. Absolutely stunning fish. Let's slip her back. I was literally just about to move. There's an awful lot is happening here. We'll give it a few more trots through and see if anything else is at home. Into another one. Look at that absolutely beautiful river roach. condition is absolutely perfect. What a stunning fish. It'd be silly to have all this river and just sit here all day, so I'm going to wander down a bit further. It's very sad to see a river in this state. There's hardly any fishable swims on it anymore. Now I think there is a swim right at the far end the other way that I can hopefully get on. It used to be known as sort of the bigger Chub swim, because just can't get in most of these swims. Plus it's all covered in cow pats everywhere. Whose idea was that? That's a great one, isn't it? Let's have a little look through here. Through the cow pat. Covered floor. Trees just fell over and thought, we'll leave them. Yeah, we're all right. Yeah, very shallow here. Can see the bottom throughout most of it. Yeah. We'll keep going. Just had a dog jump in at one bit here and just swim all the way along where next to me. So we'll give this bit a miss as well, I suppose. Absolutely pathetic. Look at this behind me. That is all trees that are just falling into the river and just been left. And this is the last bit of this stretch, so I'm going to head back up, right up the other end and try there, as there's nowhere on earth I'm going to be able to fish here. Whoever looks after this, I don't know if it's the angling club or probably the council more likely, should be ashamed of themselves. It's in a poor state. Well, just taking a pew for a moment. It's quite nice to just have a little relax here and there. It's not all about rushing around like a madman trying to catch fish. I'm going to head down to the very end and try for a chub down there or anything else that's down there. Then I can head to another stretch, I think, on my ticket, called Hawley Meadows, I think. Let me get the ticket. Doesn't actually say on there, but I'm sure it's called Hawley Meadow, which is just down the road. So I'm going to give that a go after I've finished here. And see what happens. I think it's only like a few minutes drive. There's a Tesco's in between if I want to use the facilities whilst I'm en route. Alright, let's get moving down to the other end. have just spotted a couple of nice chub under the bridge behind me here. Whether I can catch them, I don't know. It's very, very shallow water. I'll have to take off the dropper shot. I'll give it a couple of minutes. If they spook and disappear, then that's the end of that then. Let's give it a go. Don't think they're gonna go for it. I think I'm gonna try and free line and then take the float and everything off. And then give free lining a quick go. See what happens. Not a huge chub, but what a cracking fish. There's much bigger down there, so don't know if I'll get another one out of the swim, but we'll give it a go. Let's slip her back. Absolutely stunning. Getting better, but that's definitely blown this swim because this went mad. So I think we'll move on to the next stretch now. But what a way to finish on here. Awesome. Well, just got to Hawley Meadows. I've never been here before. I don't think anyway. I've definitely never fished it. I may have walked along it before. So, no idea what it looks like. No idea actually how to get to it from the car park either. So, I think I may, because of how it is at the moment and the amount of cars that are in this car park, I think I'll have a wander down there first and just have a look and just see if it looks a bit fishable. Otherwise, I've got to lug all this stuff all the way down there to find out there's no fishable parts. If it's anything like, well, still had a fair few fish from the Shepherd's Meadow, but there is one more stretch I can try after this if I want to, which is actually on the Church Farm complex run by the Hartley Whitney Angling Society. But I have fished there a long time ago. I can't remember what it looks like. I know it's where I hooked my first barbel, but I lost it. There's also 3 lakes there, I think, of which one is completely private. You have to be a member to fish that. So I don't know whether I could drop in and stick the float in the edge with a few maggots and catch something in one of the lakes. I don't know. Let's have a look here and see how it looks first. If it looks like there's some good swims, we'll get the kit out and see what we can catch. Well, so far not so good. I mean, I can't even get to most of it. A little pool behind me that was kind of fishable, but it's about 6 inches deep. I could see the bottom, I could see nothing. This is, the river's behind me there at some point. Can't see it, but it's there. Some serious maintenance needs to be done here to allow the anglers to fish, that's for sure. around a little bit, see if we can find anything remotely fishable. I assume this is the end of the beat. I must admit, actually, this little bit down here, very still water, looks really nice, but there is no way at all of getting to it. On the other side, I'm so glad, you know, if I was a member of this club that runs this stretch, and you like your river fishing, I'd be quite annoyed because there is hardly any of it you can actually fish. It's really, really poor. So, Hawley Meadows, I'm not even going to bother getting the rods out of the car. What a load of... Well, what we'll do is we'll find out where Church Farm is from here. I think it's a bit further away. This was literally 2 minutes down the road from Shepherd's Meadow. I'm hoping that being that it's on a complex with lakes, that the river would be a little bit more accessible. If I'm trying to remember it. If I remember correctly, it was more like a traditional River Kennet type beat, I think. You know, a lot deeper, weed runs, more suited to static fishing with a bomb or a feeder, if I remember correctly. But we'll go and have a look and see if we can fish that. I mean, to be fair, I've had a cracking morning on Shepherd's Meadow, loads of fish, some decent chub, so I'm not overly fussed, to be fair. I've had my fix, but it'd be nice to get a few more. So we'll head over to Church Farm and have a look. Just trying to find the river. Well, that's a very similar story here. Not quite as many trees in the water, but there's hardly any water in it. Most of it's about 4 or 5 inches deep. This bit looks slightly deeper as we come to like a bend. So I'm just going to feed this up for a minute. See if anything's home, but don't hold out much hope. Lovely little chublet. A beautiful little fish. There's a lot of these down there, I think, so we'll have a few more casts and then we'll move on. Cracking little perch. Really vivid colours on them. It's beautiful. There's obviously a few small fish down there. It's very deceiving as it's so shallow you just wouldn't think it. There's definitely no shortage. It's a bite a trot. There we go. Yes, here we go. beautiful little chublet. It's alive with them down there. It looks good for the future. Plenty of small fish means at some point they'll get bigger. It's much faster here as well. Beautiful little roach. And look at this. A massive gudgeon. My God, what a beauty. That's 4 species now, and this is actually pretty big for a gudgeon. What a cracker. Very happy with that indeed. I'm going to stay here a bit longer now, see if I can catch some more of these. Well, the first one wasn't a fluke. Look at this. Absolute stunner. This swim does look slightly deeper. Let's switch this round. It's got like a slightly deeper run in the middle here. Doesn't go for very long, not even as long as this sort of this tree hanging down here. It shallows up again. It's worth a shot. Just saw a kingfisher fly through the front of the swim as well, which is lovely to see. If I can catch it on camera, that would be awesome, but depends if he flies back. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful fish. Very, very happy with that. I was just about to move swims because nothing was happening at all. But now I've had him, I'll see if there's a couple more in there before we move around the corner. Right, I think I'm going to have a little move. Don't think there's an awful lot left, if I'm honest. I can't remember, it's been so long since I've been here, but I know this stops at the end of the complex and I can't be far off that now. Hopefully there's a nice deep area. This one hasn't really, done much, had a couple of fish, but I thought it might hold something a bit bigger. Plus the smell of human feces is starting to get in my nostrils and I'm constantly looking around for where it is. There's a couple of carp lakes, or a carp lake at least, up behind here. So it's obvious that some of the anglers have decided not to walk back to the car park and use the Portaloo, because I've seen plenty of baby wipes as well, sort of floating around. It's not nice, not nice at all. It's dirty. Right, let's see if I can find some more fish a little further down. Okay, so we have arrived at what looks like the very last swim on the Blackwater here. And it's not a great one. Absolutely choked with weed. Let me spin this round. So all that is completely choked with weed here and going this way, but there is one spot just down here with no weed. Now, just as I was getting ready to leave, I threw in like a handful of maggots, the last of my maggots. There wasn't many left. I just walked into this little opening in front of me here and saw two big chub and a barbel come out from under the reeds right next to the feet. Now, I've thrown in most of my maggots now. I've managed to scrounge like 5 or 6 of them off the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of shot on. I'm just going to lower it in front and then just wait and see if something comes along. I think if it's going to happen, it will happen pretty quickly. So I'll probably give it 5 or 10 minutes and then that'll be it. So let's see what happens. That was an absolutely brilliant result. Just seeing them in the edge. Now, it wasn't the barbel. I don't think it was the biggest chub either, but look at that. Absolutely stunning. It was just under £4. It's £3.10. Well, just over half. 3.5 really. £3.10. What an absolutely beautiful fish. And what a way to end today. So thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.